Welcome back to the part 3 of our CSS styling series. Today we are diving into typography tricks and playing with the background colors and mastering borders to give your designs that to extra edges. So if you not watch our previous videos of CSS series as well as the HTML, then go and watch that series. It is very important to understand this new topic. So let's get started. Now let's understand what is typography. Typography refers to the art and the technique of arranging text in your web page design using the CSS. And here you can see it includes the font family, font size, font weight, text align, and etc. So here you can see this is how you can apply that properties to a paragraph in here example. Now let's see the actual example on this. Open the VS Code. Now here you can see I have created index.html file, and in that I have given the basic structure of HTML file, and inside the body section I have given one paragraph. Then I have created a style.css file. In that this is empty for now, and the link for that CSS I have given in the HTML file. Here you can see the link is a relation is equals to style sheet, and the h reference means the file name is style.css. Now let's save both the files and go to the browser. I have created a folder called Codex Mitra. Inside that I have index.html. Now I will open this in Chrome. Now here you can see, here you have the paragraph that welcome to your Codex Mitra. Now let's go to the code as well. Okay, now you can see the both our output and our code. Now let's give the typography property. First here I'll give the break, and next here I will give the h1, and inside that h1 I will give some text as subscribe to my channel. Next I will save this. I will go to the style.css. Using the element selector I will select the h1 tag, and here I will first we will see the output. Here you can see this is our h1 heading. Now give the font family. Font family, first I will in single quote I will give the Arial. Next after that I will separated by comma I will give the sans serif. Next end with the semicolon. Now I will save this and go to the browser and refresh. Here you can see before the when we added the h properties to the h1, first I will remove this, save this, and refresh. Here you can see the text, whatever the font style or the font family is there, that is changing. Now let's give the font family as Arial sans serif. Here you can see subscribe to my channel. So what's happening here, it means font family, it defines the font style used for the text, and the text here I have given using the h1 tag. This applies the Arial font. If not it is unavailable, then it falls back to any sans serif font. So now next we will go to the next property. For that here I will give the break, and using the h2 heading, inside that I will give the channel name your Codex Mitra. Now I will save the HTML file. I will go to the CSS file. Here using the element selector I will select the h2 tag. And here I will first, let's execute this. Here you can see, now here I am using the font size. Here you can see our output before applying the font size. Now let's apply the font size. Here I will give as a 32 pixel. Now save this, and here you can see the text size is increased. Now it is in pixel as 32 pixel. Now let's increase more. Here I will do the 50 pixel. Now save this, and here you can see the text size is increasing. So this font size, this makes the heading text into the 32 pixel before, or the font size increase the size of that font. Here I will give the font size as 20. Now save and refresh. So let's give the another property. For that, here I will use the break. Next, after that I will use the h3 heading tag, and inside this, here I will give the text as watch CSS series on your phone. Okay. Now save this and select the h3 using the element selector. Here I will give the font weight. This is the property for typography. Font weight, here I will give the font weight as bold. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see. So first we see the before. Save it and execute. Now here you can see this is our before. Now give the property as font weight. Here I will give the bold. Now save this and refresh. Or else here you can use the numerical values as well. Here I will give the 600. Now save and refresh. Here you can see that is bold by 600. Now I will give the 200. Save with the files and refresh. Here you can see the font weight of that text is changing. So now let's move to the next property. Now after that, here I will create one anchor tag. And inside that I will give the link as YouTube. And let's save this, and here you can see this is our anchor tag link. Now here if we want to remove this underline for that anchor tag, then you have to go to the CSS, and here you have to select the anchor, and here you have to give the text decoration and give the property as none. Now save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see that underline of YouTube anchor tag is removed. Now let's move to the another, that is a text transform. Text transform changes all the letters in headings to the uppercase, lowercase, etc. Now here you can see, here we have our channel name as your Codex Mitra. Let's create it in uppercase. Here you can see inside the HTML file I have given the h2 heading. Now go to the h2 and here give the property as text transform and give the value as uppercase. Now save this and only see here your Codex Mitra. This is in camel uppercase mixed with uppercase and lowercase letters. Now refresh it. Here you can see the entire text, whatever is present in the H2 heading, that is in uppercase letters. Now there are more properties. What if we want this codex mitra at our center? For that we have to give the text align property, text align, and give the value as center. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see this moves to the center of our page. Here you can see now it is the center of our web page. Now let's move to the next property of a typography. Now inside the HTML, here I will create one more heading of H4, and here I will give the my name as Gayatri. Let's save this. I will give the property to H4, and here I will give the property as letter spacing. Here you can give the values in pixels as well. So here I will give the value as 2 pixel, and it adds the 2 pixel of space between each character. Now save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see now this text and this text is looking different. Now let's remove this so it is better understand the difference. Now save the file. I have removed, only see the text Gayatri. Here you can see now it the character, each character comes closer. Now for this let's give the more pixels. Here I will give the 6 pixels. Now save this and refresh the browser. Now here you can see each character has the space in between as 6 pixels. Now I will give the property to this paragraph tag. Now let's, using the element selector, select the paragraph, and here I will give the property as line height, and here you can see this is our paragraph. And let's add the properties. Here I will give the line height as 1.6. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see it moves some space down, means a line height of 1.6 makes the lines easier to read. Now let's give more. Now here I will give the line height as 3.6. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see it it increases the line height, and it making the lines too easy to read. So next move to the next topic, that is background and the borders. In CSS, the background refers to the area behind the content of our element. It is used to enhance the visual design of our web page by adding the colors, image, gradients, or the patterns. Now let's just we will see the background properties in our CSS. In CSS there are properties of a background as a background color, background image, background repeat, no repeat, repeat X, repeat Y, and background position, background size, background attachment, and so on. So let's see one by one. First I will remove this from CSS. Now save both the files and let's refresh for one time. Here you can see I have only heading at the top of our page. Here you can paragraph as a welcome to your codex mitra. Now inside the HTML, here I will create the div of class as box1, and let's save this, and I have given the class, so I will use the dot operator to give the style to that box class. Now here I will give the background color first. So the property is background color, and here we have to give any color. Here I will give the red. Now save and refresh. Okay, first here you can see that nothing is happening because we don't have the content inside our div, or we can see it using if we add the height and width to that particular div. So for now here I will give the text as box 1 and save this. Okay, still it is not giving the background color because here I have selected only box. The class name is box 1. Now let's save and refresh. Here you can see now our div has the background color as red. Let's give the height and width to our div. Here I will give the 50 pixel and let's give the width as 50 pixel. Save and refresh. Here you have the square box. Now or else here I will give the 100 pixels. Now save and refresh. Okay, now next create another div, and here I will give the class name as box 2. Now here I will select that box 2 and here I will give the background image. For now inside my folder I don't have any image, so let's save here any image. Let's click on this and here you have our index file and style.css. So let's see inside of my image folder I have one girl.jpg. To import the images to the folder we have to go to the our folder name. Here I have given the Codex Mitra. Inside that I have the image folder and our file names. Next go to any image place. Here I have my personal photos, so here I will copy one and let's paste inside our Codex Mitra of image folder and let's give the name. Here I will give the name as Gayatri. Save this and here you can see the type of file is a JPG. Now go to the folder. Here you can see inside the image folder I have the Gayatri.jpg. Now that image I want a background color for my div, so here I will give the URL for that folder image and slash our file name, that is Gayatri dot. The type of file is a JPG. Now let's save this and refresh. Now let's give the height and width to our div. Height I will give as 100 pixel and width as 100 pixel. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see our image is displaying but not in a proper way. So if you want to check that, so I will increase the height and width of our div. So I will give it 1000 pixel for height and width. Now refresh. Here you can see our image is displaying but still it is not in proper way. For that we have the multiple properties. So here I will give 200 pixels and let's learn the background properties. Now here I will give the background size property. So the background size property in CSS defines the size of our background image inside an element. So here there are three types mainly, as we can say give the value as auto, cover, contain, and we can specify customize the height and width as I shown here. So first I will give the auto, background size auto. So the auto, it displays the image at its original or natural size. Now here you can see still it is not displaying the original size of my image. So if the image size is larger than the element, it overflows and only the part of the image is visible. If the image is smaller, it shows as is, and the rest of the elements background remains the empty or uses the background color if you given any. So next we will give the another uh, property, means the value for the background size property, that is cover. Now let's save it and refresh. Here you can see our output. So the background size cover, this property makes the background image scale to complete cover the element, even if it means a cropping part of the image. So here are the key important key points as well. First, that is the image fills the entire element area. Here you can see it is as I have given here the height and width. So here I will remove the height and width, and so now here you can see the image fills the entire area of that element. Our element here is the content, here we have given as box 2. So now I will give the previous one as same. Next, the point that we have to remember is if the aspect ratio of our image and the element don't match, then the some part of our image will be cropped. Now here you can see here I have the entire photo as standing, but it is cropping me. So this is a point that if the ratio of the image does not match to the element size, then it crop the image. And best use for it is to full screen section banners and the hero images. At that time we can use this property as a background size cover. Next there is one more property called background size content. Now save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see my same image is displaying, but many times or two times. So the background size content property makes the entire background image fit inside the element without cropping it. The aspect ratio is preserved and no part of the image is cut off. Here you can see in our previous two parts, in auto and in cover, when we give the value as auto, it is cropping only, accepting the whatever is the portion of our image is there, and next the cover, it accepts only that whatever is the area of that ratio is matching. If the ratio of our image does not match, then it crop the image. But in content, it contain, it makes the entire background image fit inside the element without cropping. So here the whole image will be always be visible. If the aspect ratio of the image does not match the extra the element inside the element, the extra space may appear. It scales the image up to or down as needed to fit inside the element. It is useful for when you want to show the full image, not just a part of it. So let's now move to the topic, that is border. Here you can see the properties of border as border style, border width, border radius. So what is the border? The border in CSS are the lines drawn around the edges of an HTML element. They helps to separate the highlight and style different parts of our web page. So let's move to the example. Okay, here I will remove all this. Okay, now you have a two divs and as class name as box1 and box2. Now let's give the style to that class divs. So first the box1. Here you can see if we are to select the class, we have to use the dot. Next here I will give the height and width. First I will give 100 pixel height and width as 100 pixel. Now to apply the border to that element, first here I will give the background color. Background color I will give as yellow. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see I have given the properties to the box 1. So box 1 has a height of 100 pixel, width of 100 pixel and background color as yellow. Now let's give the border. For that we have to use a property called border, and here I will give the value as here I can give any color name, or you can define the means the weight of the border as well. Here I will give the weight as 2 pixel and solid red color border to that box 1 div. Now here you can see here you can see I have the border of 2 pixel solid and the color of the border is red. Now we have the border style and the values that we can give as a solid dotted dash double and groove rich insert outset and none as well. So here I will give the none. Let's save and refresh. Here you can see if I have borders give the property as border style none, then it removes the whatever the border is given to that element. So let's give the style border style as dotted and save and refresh. Here you can see now you have the border to that element as a style of dotted. Next see the dash. Now save and refresh. Here we have the dashed border. Another one is double. See, we have the border style as double. It is giving the border double means in 2 lines. Now next, if you want to give the color separately, so for that you have the property called border color, and here you have to give the color name. So here I have given the blue color. Now refresh. Here you have the colored colored border as blue color. Now next there is one more property as border radius. It is used to curve the edges, curve the corner of our element. So here we have the square box means square div. So here I will give the value to the border radius as in pixel. So here I have given the 20 pixels. Here you can see you have the div of curved radius means curved edge. Now if here I have given the value is in percentage. If I have given the value in percentage and that particular 50%, then it curves the element. If that is the square, then it completely round up that square box. Now let's refresh. Here you can see. Now we have the uh, div as a height and width of 100 and when I applied the border radius of 50%, then it is completely round up that square box. Okay, so that wraps our video, and now you know how to style your text backgrounds and borders like a pro using the CSS. If you like this video, then don't forget to share and subscribe for more web design tips, and see you in the next one. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.